Alright. What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic day. I know I am, because I just got a big replay pack from none other than Florencio. That's right. The man who takes Sewer League StarCraft, wears a nexus on his head, and brings it out to the masses and the people. That's right. Known by his detractors for having Gold League execution. But, of course, his fans will counter that by saying he has beyond Grandmaster 300 IQ planning and strategy. I think it's a bit murkier, and it's probably somewhere in the middle for both of those, but either way, he's going to be up against IPO, the Zerg player in the bottom left. Looks like he's going to be rushing him here with a gas pool opening on one base, so a very aggressive Zerg opening. And definitely going to be interesting to see what Florencio brings out. A gas first opening, not unfamiliar for him at all. And for those who aren't familiar, so basically, I first came across Florencio many years ago. When someone did one of his strategies that he invented, where you build a nexus in the opponent's base, and then you recall zealots and probes in. Now, I've many times told this story incorrectly, because it was, I didn't know who Florencio was at the time, and I remember people clipped it and laughed at me dying to, I think I was Protoss at the time. I think I was playing Protoss. And I tried to defend with some stalkers and just got overrun by zealots and probes, right? So the clip got shared, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, I died to Florencio. Apparently, I never did actually lose to Florencio, and that was someone who'd copied his build and was just doing it on the ladder for fun. But people were saying, oh my god, Pig lost to the Florencio build, that's so ridiculous. And yeah, and I found out about him, and then people, a few regulars in my channel said, you really should cast his games. We've been watching his stream. It is the strangest thing we've ever seen. It's so low level and so genius at the same time. It's purely a thing of art. Like, he loses games that should not be lost, but he also wins games in the most spectacular way possible, because he is always focused on really trying to have a specific goal and do some sort of special strategy. Now, he does spot this coming, but it looks like that Ling is going to hunt down his SCV, the engineering bay as well. He's going for a Reaper, queuing up some Marines. Is that a bunker? What? Oh, the engineering bay is on the other side of the map. Great, because that's blocking. I thought that was an engineering bay at first. He's building a bunker behind his mineral line. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Guys, clearly the Lings are at the front. You want to build the bunker over here to actually defend your ramp. This is so insanely stupid, but it is something that Florencio likes to do, insanely stupid things, so why not? This Reaper here, by the way, doing very well. He's going to just pick away at these Zerglings. They really can't get at them as long as Florencio doesn't mess up his micro. IPO building a hatchery on the front. And this bunker back here is so dumb, because I mean, if he has a bunker up here, it can help him as a fallback point or something like that. He's going to try to build one on the low ground to stop this hatchery. This Reaper is starting to get out of hand, though. It's getting so much damage. I think we need to give him a nickname. For those who don't know, the Reaper has 2 P45 Gauss pistols in his hands, and he doesn't seem to give a crap. So we're going to call this guy Bob Kelso. I've got 2 Gauss pistols, and I don't give a crap. Yeah, he's gonna be someone we try to keep track of. I don't know if this Marine deserves a name just yet. These Marines, you don't get a name until you've done something special in a game of StarCraft. But Bob Kelso, the Reaper, I will try to keep selected and keep track of him if possible. A lair for some reason on the way for IPO. So what is IPO doing? Forward hatchery contain. Into lair. I have no idea what the hell is going on. Flo, though, is just going to be going for factory. He's got Marines in the bunker. This is one of Flo's most hilarious, sometimes effective, sometimes stupid mind games. Is rather than just defending the front of his base, he leaves it partially undefended to bait his opponent into attacking him, and then puts defense further back. He used to always just have 1 cannon in his wall. It would get busted by Ravagers. They'd run up his ramp, and there'd be 2 more cannons in a battery. And they'd be like, what? Why weren't they all just at the front? And he's like, layers. You know, like, Florencio always just wants to try and distract you. The Lings are actually doing good damage to the depot. Oh, God. 200 hit points, 160, 150, 140, 130, 120. But the SCVs get there just in time. 120 hit points. The Reaper still jumping up and down. Bob Kelso, the Reaper, up to 11 kills. We've got a factories pumping out Hellions. Blue Flame and tanks as well. Another hatchery does go down behind this, but IPO, I don't think has built a single drone since the early game. Not mining gas or anything. Oh, it's a double elevator. Oh my god, it's a double elevator. Florencio doesn't see it. Oh, this is a sick drop, sliding about 20 Zerglings, maybe 16, 18 Zerglings into the back door. A lot more Lings are going to come in as well. He's going to try and unload these on the high ground, accidentally dropping those out on the low ground, but does ferry them up to the high ground now. IPO just fixing all that up. There we go. Oh my god, Florencio doesn't know about this at all. The Lings are going to they're going to come in. The Lings flooding into the main base right now, going for it. He moves right in. The tank is not covering it, but the bunker. The Lings can't get us around in the bunker unless they go around the right side, which they haven't done. He goes after the siege tank though. Bob Kelso went down. down. The Siege Tank Sergeant Chadhammer got 8 kills, but also went down. The Lings are now going to breach the ramp. There's only 4 Marines left. That's it. And they're all in that bunker in the back. These depots going down. That's going to be a supply block. Uh-oh, that's not good. There we go, down to 30 out of 31 supply. Florencio does have a lot of energy, so he can drop a lot of mules, but the Lings are going to march on in. There's also 2 Queens on the natural that could start walking up here as well. If he goes after the SCVs, that could work, but the bunker is always going to draw the aggro of the Zerglings, and look at those Blue Flame Hellions. Oh, they are doing a brilliant job of making it very hard for these Zerglings. Notice these SCVs up here as well, trying to repair the factory. Hellions have to be careful, because if they get surrounded, even with Blue Flame, they will go down. They need to try to line the Zerglings up and get those big volleys off. Queens coming forward are going to cause big troubles here. They're moving on up. The barracks taking a little bit of damage, as is that factory. But the Hellions, man, 6 kills on one and 9 kills on the other. Now, this is a scenario where if you lose these Hellions or and these factories, all you've got is the Marines and the bunkers. You can't really establish much. You're going to have to rebuild your production. So he's desperately fighting to hang on. Another Hellion goes down to the Queens, but these Hellions popping on the left do end up defending the Zerglings. SCVs coming out, but more Lings coming in. You've got to watch out here. Even though it's only 12 drones, a lot of Zerglings can be built off that. Zerglings are a very cost-efficient unit. They are very, very efficient. They don't cost a lot. Finally does get pushed back, keeps his factory alive. He's trying to get some Cyclones out now as well to help deal with the Queens. The Queens are pulling back to the edge of the creep. The Zerglings there as well. Looks like, there we go. He's going to put a creep tumor down on the ramp to block that up. Now, honestly, I've got to be worried. For those who don't know, Florencio is not actually human. He's a sewer mermaid. So it's a species of mermaid that has actually evolved in the urban environment of the Los Angeles sewer system. So it's a bit of an issue for him if he, oh my god, he's going to get surrounded. Careful, careful, careful. Oh, luckily this IPO didn't move past for the surround, or he could have surrounded that Cyclone. Back to the point. Okay, so Florencio has webbed hands and feet, something a lot of people don't know about him. If you guys have met him in an event, sometimes he's wearing gloves, you might not notice. But if you pay close attention next time you meet him, he does have webbed hands and feet, and it's very hard for him to micro at the same level. That's why he uses such a big brain strategy. So the Cyclone Hellion trying to come in. He does get back to the choke point, but he's got to be careful because units popping out on both sides. This is basically like that challenge Hero Marine did that time where he was playing with oven mitts on. It is not easy to do that, guys. It's not easy to do that. And the factory's getting mighty low. The Cyclones and Hellions need to get back in there. Good lift. The factory stays alive. One SCV is repairing it. He's going to pull 3 more SCVs to repair it. Another Hellion comes out. Oh, look at that Hellion positioning. Gets right in the choke point. You cannot fight that with Zerglings. The Cyclones are going to run out here as well and try to do what they can do. The factory wants to land, but it can't because there's creep in his main base, bringing the sewers to the Sewer Mermaid by literally spreading up your goop all in his business. Oh man, the bunker is still full. The Zerglings get a bunch of SCVs, lowering the income, but those Queens are getting low. One of the Queens falls. The other one does survive. The Zerglings take out another Hellion. That Cyclone barely surviving, though the unit's lost tab has got to be getting way in his favor. Webbed hands or not, he is microing at least like a Platinum or Diamond player, if not higher. Haters. Ooh, another Hellion does get surrounded, and a Cyclone though, so that was not a good move forward. He's building more Cyclones. Now, at any point here, IPO could drone up, get to about 30 drones, and make like Ravager Ling, and Florencio stuck on one base would be screwed. Unfortunately for IPO's strategic depth seems to be about as deep as a puddle. I'm thinking of like a puddle that's filled up, but it's going to dry out within 30 minutes of the sun shining again. You know, there has not been a drone built in 7 minutes. That is ridiculous. IPO's build is actually insane. He's still building Queens one at a time at the front, and nothing but Queens and Lings against somebody who has Blue Flame Hellions and isn't really building many of them right now, but still the Cyclones coming out is a big issue. A third factory is on the way as well. These Zerglings trying to run in. The Cyclones are going to try and kite backwards, and whenever they get back with that Hellion behind them, the Lings can't do much. IPO still just chill. We got to go to IPO's camera. I want to get inside the brain of IPO right now. Assuming that it exists. I'm not sure that IPO... Oh, 5 drones in production. Okay, so IPO is finally backing out of this. Just needs to back away with the Zerglings. Maybe fight with these Queens, but of course they're basically Cyclone fodder. And unfortunately, he's building drones from this front hatchery. Ooh, transfuse. Doesn't transfuse the Queen. The Lings getting on top of the Hellion. Cyclone. And the Hellion goes down. The Cyclone almost going down as well. Oh man, these units are getting roasted. IPO needs to chuck back on gas, drop a Roach Warren, get out some Ravagers, because they have the mobility and the range to deal with the Cyclones, with a bit of micro at least. Fortunately for him, it's a 17 kill Cyclone, a 25 kill Cyclone, a 6 kill Cyclone, a 5 kill Hellion, a 4 kill Cyclone, and these last 2 Hellions don't have any kills just yet. That's a lot of kills. I think Bob Kelso, the Reaper, gave his life for a good cause to buy time for all these Hellions and Cyclones to be built. This Battle Mech force assembling. And they're going to try and come down. They're going to run into the slowest retreat of all time. This queen tried to run home off creep, but that is a very, very slow attempt, and she ends up getting absolutely squished. Of course, this is the simulant Zerg skins for a lot of these units, if not the buildings. And oh! Your autism is strong. I mean, hand in hand with the puddle deep, like literal centimeter deep pool of strategic depth. The insults also very original. Super, super original and on point. I'm sure that zinger has Florencio with tears in his eyes just wiping them away. All right, well, after such a big break recently, I feel amiss to just give you guys a quick 10-minute game. So let's cast another one here. Up in the top right, we've got Psystorm Gaming's Florencio, aka Dankcraft there, representing Psystorm well. And playing some fun strats, no doubt. What's he doing back here? Okay, interesting. Took a while to put the depot down. I don't know why he's building it there, but he is. His opponent at the bottom left, it's a TVT, big tough guy. I do enjoy Florencio's Terran versus Terran. It's actually really fascinating to see how he basically just tech switches like really well. It's one of these things, a lot of Terran versus Terran players is like, I make Marines, tanks, and Vikings, maybe Ravens or Medivacs in there. But Florencio is obviously, he doesn't really upgrade his units with the armory upgrades at all. Wait, what? Whoa, 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 he's pulling 12 workers. He built a gas just so he could stack them up, guys. That is 12 workers there. He brings one worker across the map. He's got 12 more behind it. Let's go to the red player's camera. Do they realize? Okay, they're going to see the second SCV in a moment. They're going to see it. Are they looking? Are they looking? No, they're on A move, so they hit one of the SCVs, but they're not looking at it. Oh, they're not paying attention. They're distracted. So this SCV hit one of his SCVs, but that's 12 SCVs. And you might not notice he's cloned them up. He's stacked them on top of each other using the mineral walking mechanic. If you look closely, you can see they're shimmering. That is clearly not one SCV if you have your eyes all sharply peeled. But right now, this is an issue. Uh-oh. Oh, if he finishes the barracks, that would help. Comes in. Whoa! He pulls like 5 SCVs, but this is 12. This is way more than he thought. He thought it was maybe 2 or 3, not that many. And so many SCVs just got surrounded. Big Tough Guy should have ran away the moment they blossomed out and waited for more SCVs. Oh no, Big Tough Guy is getting absolutely savage. Keeps trying to focus fire. And as a result is losing out on so much damage. Terrible micro from the red player. Oh no, and only 6 SCVs versus 14. The Marine pops out and kills 2 red hit point SCVs, which is actually pretty well done. But trying to start a step, the SCVs will hunt him down. Florencio could kill a few more SCVs and basically win himself the game. He just killed another SCV on the other side of the map as well. Flo's only lost 9, 10 SCVs. Oh my lord. Okay, remember he pulled 13 in total. And oh, he's trying to pull back, but he gets one more. Dude, 9 versus 3. This is game over. This is game over. Triple the worker count. Neither side started an orbital. I mean, your barracks is finished and you have 2 Marines out. But the barracks is halfway done. By the time you get across the map, Flo will have his own Marines or Reapers even as well, and he should be fine. Big Tough Guy needs to get this SCV back to mining and needs to just do nothing but build SCVs, pull off gas, all minerals. Yet is going for a Reaper and actually queuing 2 Reapers right now while sending these Marines across the map. I mean, maybe you could do enough damage, but 7 workers is so big. It's like 2.5 times the worker count for Flo. Still hasn't sent this worker back to mining. Big Tough Guy. Time to show some Big Tough Guy mechanics and notice that idle worker, dude. Oh, Big Tough Guy, please. Otherwise, this is basically just game over, man. The Marine is building. SCVs are pumping out. Let's see what 2 Marines can do. It'll be 2 Marines versus 1. If they go straight in and focus the Marine down before Flo pulls his SCVs, he could kill 4 or 5 SCVs. It might make it playable. There is a Reaper out, and the first Reaper only just started for Flo. There's a dream. There is a dream of this working out. This really comes down to how quick Flo responds. He needs to just instantly grab his whole mineral line and attack move. If he does that well enough, I think he'll be okay here. But if the Marine dies straight away or something like that, it's going to cause him big troubles. Here we go. The 2 Marines and the Reaper come in. Already a nice grenade. He gets the Marine and an SCV for free. Florencio's running away. He needs to fight. He's got another Reaper that's going to pop out on the backside. Oh, he gets us surrounded with the SCVs and his Reaper's chasing the enemy Reaper. But Big Tough Guy, even though he loses the Marines, he gets the Reaper out of there. Nonetheless, a good enough hold. As I said, still 13 SCVs versus 9. And Florencio has the orbital. Big Tough Guy has frozen up. Build an orbital, build SCVs. Big Tough Guy is so focused on the counter damage. There we go. Finally queues up SCVs. Oh my lord. Every SCV you miss in this situation is absolutely crucial, man. Oh, grenades going down in the mineral line, but enemy grenade from Florencio. All these SCVs are weak. If Big Tough Guy can take out the Reaper, that'll be huge. He takes out the SCVs. Florencio focuses him down. He focuses him down in return, though. Florencio has a new Reaper about to pop, but it's not there just yet. Oh my god, the worker count is actually basically equalized. If he focuses down the weak ones, he could do really well, but Florencio pulls away. He hits the gas geyser. Florencio focusing on his micro as much as he can. He's going to get it. Florencio gets that Reaper. Can you believe it? And he keeps like 3 extra SCVs alive, which otherwise would have put him behind, especially if the other player builds an orbital, which he has not done just yet. This fight's still very important. Oh, it's actually Florencio who takes the grenade. Just click the red hit point SCVs, please. He gets one more, Big Tough Guy ties up the workers. I can't believe we've actually got a game on our hands. At the end of the day, Flo's actually lost more. He's lost 20 workers versus the 17 of his opponent. Hopefully Big Tough Guy remembers to make an orbital soon. And this is actually a playable position, especially with Florencio going double barracks and a bunker. It feels like he's paranoid now. So no command center, no factory. And if Big Tough Guy just goes orbital, gets a second gas, maybe builds a command center, he can get ahead. Yeah, look at that. Command center goes down, has the extra minerals. Wow. Okay. I thought this was over, and I was like, I literally was thinking, did I host the wrong replay? I was told there were some entertaining replays I was being given to cast, but apparently I was thinking I'd clicked on the wrong one, but it does seem like this is gonna reset somehow after an insane start. How often do you see that? About 5 minutes in the game and 37 workers have died combined between the players, and yet they're dead even on workers and supply. Now second gas factory. I think Big Tough Guy, even though he's not made the orbital, Florencio is famous for not really remembering to drop mules, so we'll see. I mean, he's been dropping them so far, but it's still questionable if he'll keep that up. Looks like Flo's going to commit pretty hard to a counterattack. 3 Reapers. I think when he has 5 Reapers, that's probably his best window, especially with the barracks building a tech lab, but 2 Reapers plus 3 Marines, especially if they're on the high ground, can defend okay. 3 Reapers won't really have much of an opportunity here. He comes in, he scans, he's got to get out of there. That's too many Reapers and Marines coming after him. He's already lost one of his Reapers. He gets 1 SCV building the command center. He gets a nice grenade, but can he actually get out? Oh, he can't get out. Oh, he gets 1 more Reaper. At least he gets a trade there. Kills a Reaper. But otherwise, Big Tough Guy now has the orbital, shuts that down, has the unit advantage, building more SCVs, dropping mules like a beast. But unfortunately, has forgotten to put an SCV back on the command center, so we'll have to check in on that in just a moment. Oh, there we go. He does find it. Factory going for the tech lab now, and the barracks also building a new tech lab. Florencio, on the other hand, only now starting his factory and expansion. He's up on workers. He's been remembering to drop mules a little bit. I guess he did a scan with that last 50 energy. Ooh! Oh, careful, Flo. He's got to get down there, and Big Tough Guy gets the SCV, but I think he loses the Reaper for it. I'd say it's still worth it, just because now Florencio has to grab an SCV, send it down there, and any delays on your opponent's economy is huge, because you kill that SCV, plus you're delaying it from finishing, which means another SCV can't be built. And Florencio, the 0 IQ bunkers may have won in that last game, but I don't know about these ones, man. I don't know about these ones. He's going 2 factories. He's got a bunker there and there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are 300 IQ bunkers for the way he's playing the game. I'm always torn. I never know. Is it 0 IQ? Is it 300 IQ? Let me know in the chat, in the comments or the chat. I've been streaming a lot lately, so chat is the necessary term usually. But this one's straight to YouTube. Not being seen anywhere else. Hope you're all enjoying it. Okay, starport's on the way. Planetary and the natural. Florencio is just finding his comfort zone. Now, Big Tough Guy, I still think has the advantage here, especially if Big Tough Guy can float the command center down, keep dropping mules, that sort of stuff. That's going to be fantastic. Definitely has room to outgrow Florencio, which, to be honest, is one of Florencio's biggest weaknesses. I know we've cast the odd game where he's playing someone with Masters level macro, and it feels like he just can't win, but he wins because of some clever tricks. I would say that's a rare case. I would say usually if someone has Masters plus level macro, as long as they don't get too tilted from his frustrating strategies, they can always kind of twist and turn and kind of find a way to just, well, I guess not really twist and turn. He's the one who's twisting and turning, but they can just keep building stuff and they will outproduce him and out-upgrade him in the long run to the point where they win the game. Big Tough Guy seems to be falling into the category, maybe not of Masters level macro, but of, hey, I've had a chaotic early game. The adrenaline is pumping. This is a scary situation. Still seems to be teching into mech pretty decently. Getting up reactors, tech labs, adding more production facilities, an engineering bay, probably to build missile turrets. And, you know, building depots as well. It's like, hey, yes, you hit a supply block, but you just hit a supply block, instantly started depots. I don't see any signs of the like, oh, this guy rushed me with SCVs and freaking out and playing like poop because of that. It's going to be a battlecruiser transition and some tanks on the ground for Flo. He's still up 1 SCV, which is pretty good for him. Reaper's going to jump on up. Concussive did not get made this game. And one of those Reapers does go down. The other one barely survives. They aren't armored units, so Marauders don't do too much damage to them. Oh, Fusion Core free. Okay, so Big Tough Guy also wants to play mech into Battlecruisers. Okay, two lads are about to pull their Battlecruisers out and see exactly how they go. Tank bunker covering the main, planetary bunker covering the natural in the front of the production. And the first Battlecruiser does start up for Flo, which is a pretty big advantage. If you can get in there and start doing damage to the workers and force them to use their Battlecruisers defensively, that definitely helps out. Up to 4 gases now on both sides of the map. Florencio's going to send an SCV out. Is he doing corner base? Yeah, looks like it. He's going to go to the bottom right, start hiding some expansions. He's also scanning the natural, seeing a turret, a tank. Doesn't see too much else. But I think Flo's getting a decent idea of what's going on. As his opponent goes for a third base, which he'll float down to the normal. Florencio thinking about taking that corner base. And look at that, right on 400 minerals. Wow, okay, that's very cool. Surprisingly tight there for Florencio. Battlecruiser does come out. He's got Yamato on the way as well. First Battlecruiser, if it teleports maybe in the middle, he could kill a lot of stuff. Because there's only 1 Viking and 3 Marines that shoot up right now. This is a really tough spot to be in, but... Oh no, it's an A move. So Florencio just goes for the A move. He's being conservative. He's saving the teleport to get home. And that's going to allow the teleport, or the BC, sorry, to come out for Big Tough Guy. Big Tough Guy ideally would get a starport on this reactor and just keep building Battlecruisers and Vikings to win the air war. The scary thing then is going to be Florencio is always 2 steps ahead. He's building an armory. So you can get either Thors to counter Battlecruisers or Widow Mines to counter Vikings. And those can be really nasty, because if you commit too hard to winning the air war and then they just suddenly have Thors and Widow Mines, your air army sucks against those units and you have to swap back into ground. So you can't go too heavy in one direction. And Battlecruisers against Battlecruisers almost always forms into some weird situations. Here we go. Look at this. He's about to see the first Battlecruiser enter his vision. Big Tough Guy. We're about to see how big and tough he really is. Looks like he killed a Reaper out front. Oh, SCV's pulling away. The Hellions are going to move across the map, maybe in an attempt to do a counterattack. Big Tough Guy is going to teleport the Battlecruiser home to try and defend. Not a bad choice. I thought that was the Battlecruiser's health bar for a second. Realized it is the refinery. And there we go. He's going to try and chase him down, but Florencio could just Yamato and teleport home if he chooses to. And looks like that is indeed going to be what he does. Okay, he says, I can Yamato you and then trade. But seeing the Viking, he realizes he'll lose that fight. So he's going to try and run away. Wait, what is this? Oh, the second BC popped it home. He's going to teleport on top of him. Oh no, Big Tough Guy. Mass repair, pull all the SCVs. But the Yamato from the second BC doesn't let him get out of there. Oh, Florencio with a dirty Battlecruiser trade there. Manages to trap the BC of his opponent, gets it, and just flies back to repair up and let his cooldowns kind of get his abilities back and going. Cyclones are building Hellions and a Battlecruiser with a Yamato coming out as well. Those Battlecruisers are going to fly to the left side. Hellions are going to try to go for a run by, but I don't think there's any opportunities here. He's got other Hellions running in. There's a planetary and a tank. They do not care about Blue Flame Hellions. Ow. Oh, please pull these guys back. Oh man, Big Tough Guy's worried about the Battlecruisers. Isn't watching. Big Tough Guy is worried about the Battlecruisers. They all run in and die. The Battlecruisers are going to find the siege tanks out in the open as well. Oh, fresh mules all just got dumped down there. What's he got that shoots up? A Battlecruiser, a Cyclone, and a Viking. Not an ideal force. He's going to lock onto the BC, but he runs too close. Ah! Oh man, this is not good. This is not good. Yamato will at least go down and try to scare off these Battlecruisers. It does 240 damage for those who don't know. It's a pretty high amount, but a Battlecruiser has 550 hit points. Viking in the open. Got to be careful. You don't want to lose that Viking. Yamato takes it out. Teleport home. Florencio, he's in. He's out. And you're the one taking all the damage. Look at the units lost tab. You're kidding me. Wow. 5,000 to 1,700. And now Florencio is getting hidden expansions in the corners while denying Big Tough Guy's third. Now, Big Tough Guy's made a new third, or at least he's floating it back since I think this is the same one. But Big Tough Guy needs to find a way to get up some starports on reactors, that sort of stuff. Get some Vikings out there. Behind it, though, Cyclones are already on the way. He's also getting rapid reignition system, guys. Florencio has 0 medevacs. Yep, Florencio is investing a bunch of resources in reducing the cooldown of the medevacs ignite afterburners by 5 seconds and increasing the passive movement speed of medevacs. Why? Bets. My bet, I'm putting my money on he likes seeing the Fusion Core do a little jiggly dance. That's my bet. I can't come up with a logical reason. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with he liked Fusion Core Dance because it's fun. He probably has some like, oh, if the game goes long enough, I boost Medevac Widowmine drops on top of their army or something like that, knowing Florencio. But who knows, man? He's going Corvid Reactor and swapping to Ravens as well to counter the enemy Battlecruisers. His own Battlecruisers here, picking off 1 or 2 Hellions. But here come the Cyclone BC of the opponent. Oh, look at that, though. He runs in with 4 Cyclones to do some harassment. He will get trapped there, but not before taking out a few of these units. Cyclones and BCs running on forwards and cleaning those up pretty efficiently. Can Florencio take advantage? Ooh, sorry, guys. Bad observing there. My bad. Battlecruisers push back. The mass missile turret and the natural seems to be effective, but it's only effective at defending this area. The main and the third are still, you know, they're not going to be helped by those missile turrets, which is why getting Vikings out and the like is way more important. Ooh, I would have loved to see Florencio try and target that BC down before teleporting home. Hellions drive through the mineral line, and they do actually bring a little bit of friendly fire from that tank. It's the first time the Blue Flame Hellions have done anything. 14 Hellions have gone down, and I don't think there's been any extra SCVs that have died since that early game. Planetary on the far right, Planetary in the bottom right. Big Tough Guy is thinking, oh, I'm 3 base, maybe verse 2 base, but no, has actually spotted the Planetary on the right. He's trying to go mag field. Did I just see a Banshee building? No, just more Battlecruisers. Is up to 3 BCs verse 3. The problem is that Ravens, right? So Florencio is making Ravens now. They have Interference Matrix for 75 energy. They can use Cuck Matrix, is what I like to call it. Interference Matrix is the technical word. It basically stops a thing from attacking or using abilities for 11 seconds. So if he just uses that, the Battlecruisers can move, but they can't shoot or teleport or use Yamato, and that's going to lock them in place. As long as you've got enough damage to then kill those Battlecruisers while they're matrixed, it can be massive. Battlecruiser run-bys are both going to hit. Battlecruisers in the bottom right side going to dive in on this missile turret and double Yamato to get through the mass repair. Not a bad idea. But you've got to be wary because Florencio is going to go down that left side as well. He's going to come in on your third. And what else has he got at home? Only 3 Cyclones. They do have mag field, so they actually could kill BCs pretty early. But oh no, they're sitting exposed out front. Oh, the Cyclones go down so quickly. The BC is going to have to teleport home. That Cyclone could do some big damage, but look how quick Florencio is with the Yamato. But he misclicked on an SCV. He Yamato'd an SCV. He was trying to click on the Cyclone, but he clicked on an SCV. Oh, and the Yamato does stop one of his BCs from teleporting home. Cute move there, like by Big Tough Guy. If Big Tough Guy can keep dropping mules, get a few more command centers up, and just build a bit more stuff that shoots up, whether that be Cyclones, or in this case, looks like Viking BC is going to be the answer. That seems like a good idea. The problem is, of course, going to be if more Thors and Widowmines come out in the future. Florencio knows the tech switch game much better than most players. Unfortunately, he doesn't know about upgrades. +1 armor coming in is going to be massive in all of these interactions. BCs shoot incredibly fast, and they only do 5 damage a shot at the moment. Every armor is going to massively reduce their attack damage. Not only that, Vikings do 2 attacks. Even though they're greater damage, you're still going to get a significant reduction from that. Cyclone might take out a Raven. 1 Raven does fall to the missile turret Cyclone, but my gosh, that is a lot of auto turrets. Another Raven falls, so not too bad that he at least got some kills, but the SCVs had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. A whole mineral line goes down. The Ravens are dumping their entire load, but that's going to be a dead command center, not to mention every worker on the base and both gases. A big handicap for Big Tough Guy, who's now going to start a Planetary on the left side. He's going to have to try and rebuild the worker count and get back on it. Is into the tech that is needed, but the Raven count is scary. 10 Ravens, and the BC is going to come in to fight the missile turrets, but I think with Vikings, Ravens, all that stuff that could come down to defend, that will be an issue. The BCs come in with the Yamatos. Remember, missile turret only has 250 life, so Yamato puts it on 10 life. And look at that, goes down very, very quickly. He's going to teleport away before he can be matrixed. Wants to make sure he can escape. Not a bad choice by Big Tough Guy. Rallying out to the top left is going to need some more gases and to rebuild these command centers. We've got these Battlecruisers, we've got Vikings, 4 BCs and 9 Vikings, a very good air army. The problem is going to be that there's just so many turrets. The Raven player might be able to win. Florencio might be able to just roll over him with Mass Raven. He calls them ghetto birds, a term I was not familiar with until the first time he sent me a replay called Ghetto Birds when he was first experimenting with Ravens. Found out that's what they call the police choppers over there in America in some places. The Ghetto Birds, as they are always flying over the neighborhood. Does make sense when I think about it. The auto turrets, this is of course old balance patch. That new balance patch hasn't come out on the ladder just yet. Mass auto turret spam over the missile turrets, you mad lad. But he's doing big economic damage. The SCVs should always be pulled away in situations like that, but Big Tough Guy's under a lot of pressure right now. He's trying to shoot down the Ravens. Gets one of them, gets two, but each time is taking so much economic damage. And this is why you need to be expanding at a super rapid rate, because you're always going to take damage once they get Mass Raven up. You need to be able to absorb that damage as much as you possibly can. Tanks shooting auto turrets. And they do end up setting that command center down on a very low amount of hit points, but not quite on fire. Big Tough Guy still has a bigger army than Florencio, but Florencio may have lost the bottom right, but he's got a new third base, and that fourth is still solid. Florencio is still building Hellions now. Actually, he's adding Hellions as well as one last Raven, perhaps. Looks like he's thinking about tech switching. He doesn't have that much gas, though. And I do think 14 Ravens is more than enough. He's building more, though. 3 more Ravens. Okay, fair enough. Florencio is addicted to Ravens right now. He is absolutely... I mean, it makes sense if we think about it. If he was to go Expecto Patronus... Patronum? Expecto Patronum? Patronus. I think it's whatever. Expecto Patronus. Patronum. Right? And then the creature is called your Patronus. I'm remembering Harry Potter now. Point being, it would probably be a Raven, because a Raven, don't Ravens go and eat, aren't they carrion eaters sometimes, right? Where they go and feed off the dead. We've seen Florencio, he often doesn't leave games when he defeats his opponent. He stays there to stab their corpse and gnaw at it a little bit, have a bit of a snack. Nice interference matrices, but where's the damage? Where's the damage? Trying to do auto turrets. Auto turrets are not going to kill BCs. They can just fly away from them way too easily. Oh no, Florencio. He's got 2 BCs, but he's not bringing them over. He's trying to build 3 more BCs himself. I think he's realized committing to just Mass Raven on its own is not going to kill the BCs. You want some Ravens and some Vikings or BCs to shoot them down. Preferably you want the Vikings. He's going to try and go for more auto turrets, but the Raven count is going down. This is actually a really good fight for Big Tough Guy. But Florencio has the big economy advantage. Remember, Big Tough Guy is not macroing behind it. The BCs are flying on in. The planetary and the turret taking huge damage right now. The turret goes down. The planetary. Has he got building armor? My lord. Mass repair. Doing such a good job. Remember that planetaries have 3 armor. Uh-oh. Here we go. More auto turrets coming in. Not to mention the other BCs. We're going to see one of the BCs fall. Double Yamato could take out another. Oh, he teleports out. Dodges the Yamatos. Well done, Big Tough Guy. The Big Tough Guy needs to transfer workers. The natural gases are gone. Was never rebuilt a third base. Big Tough Guy has frozen up under the pressure. Florencio, it feels like, is a slow, just constant glacial chill that seeps into your bones. And most players at a certain point, they freeze up underneath that pressure. They go, what do I do now? And they freeze. Whereas Florencio, it feels like he just keeps moving slowly and inexorably because he's having fun no matter how weird the situation is, where other players are usually stressing themselves out. He has that mentality of, I like doing fun, silly stuff. And as a result, he's more calm in the late game. Whereas Big Tough Guy, you can see, is not really spending that giant mineral bank. Could have been building a lot of SCVs by now, but doesn't go for it. The aliens finally are going down here to the Battlecruisers and the planetary. Here come the Ravens, but on their own, the Ravens cannot fight the BCs. I'm not sure what Flo's trying to do with this one. I think he hasn't maybe thought it out that well. Or maybe he's going to... Is he going to teleport his BCs? His Vikings are pretty far away. If he brings his Viking, BC, and interference matrices as the Ravens, he should win this game. There are 8 Vikings, but they're not with the BCs. And if the BCs don't get out of there in time, that's going to be big. Yamato goes down. Nice. But, oh, Yamato the same Raven twice. So the second one just hits thin air, where, of course, there's chunks of Raven flying where that Raven used to be standing. Raven's coming down the left side. He's going to try and go yet again. Planetary Fortress is pretty buff, but that is an incredible amount of auto turrets available. Yeah, he's going to drop so many. So many auto turrets going down. A few Ravens fall to the missile turret. Make it 1, make it 2. But then the planetary and the whole base is gone with it. Big Tough Guy's economy is pretty much done. He's going to fly down the right side and find one of Flo's bases, but here comes the Viking BC. The missile turret's baiting some Yamato. Big Tough Guy might be outgunned here. He's going to try and teleport away. And does so. The BC's teleport does have a new third base up. The natural with the gas is there, but hasn't put any workers on gas nor taken the other one. We've got Viking BC moving on south. +2 vehicle plating coming in, going from 4 armor to 5 would be nice, but I think it's a bit too late for that. The Viking BC counterattack from Florencio, and Florencio has had fun shifting back and forth. Remember, he started this game by pulling 12 of his workers to rush his opponent, and I thought he'd won the game right there, but the other player actually got ahead. But since then, it's been in the Battlecruiser versus Battlecruiser game where Florencio has excelled. Some of the BCs teleport over, but they don't all have teleport. Most of them couldn't teleport. Oh no, Big Tough Guy accidentally teleports 2 Battlecruisers in. The rest aren't even ready to fight. Is at least going to drop some Yamatos, but otherwise they're getting ganked super hard. Big mistake there by Big Tough Guy. Still coming over 8 BCs versus 8, but it's the Vikings that'll cause a problem, not to mention the Ravens that are still in reserve behind this. That base goes down and Florencio just teleports out of there. He's playing it super safe. He says just use your mottos, repair, regenerate all of those cooldowns, and then get out of there. Big Tough Guy seems to have accidentally rallied a BC in here. Is microing it now. Needs to get out of there. I think Big Tough Guy's desperate. Realizes that doesn't have an economy and needs to do some more damage. But of course, the Cuck Matrix comes in. The Battlecruiser's self-confidence absolutely obliterated as the Raven points at it and says, "You're a loser." And it basically just has to tuck its head in to its shoulders, adopt the virgin pose, and the Chad Raven able to chase it home there. Yeah, this is looking like a Florencio win at this point, guys. I think he's got him. I think it's just the final parade now. Man, it's been a good return though. I love seeing these just silly bunker placements, clearly preparing for the weirdness that he is trying to force in the game. There really are layers to the planning and the strategy that can be appreciated. And I think what's most appreciated by most people is the fact that it's so attainable. You watch someone like Florencio play StarCraft and you're like, I think I can do that. Like with a bit of thinking, it's like, I think I could do that. Because there's nothing here that reeks of fast play or anything like that. It's purely like well planned out silliness that throws the opponents off their game, and that's what he's all about, mate. Hunting down these last Battlecruisers. Big Tough Guy's pretty much done in this game. And I don't think he's going to be able to recover. We've still got the bunkers, by the way, from the early game here. Florencio still had them. Those two Marines even shot the Battlecruiser a little bit from inside that bunker. You go, Florencio, you go. Anyway, big thanks to everyone who's watching. I guess I'll do some shout-outs here, so when the game does end and he finishes stabbing the corpse of Big Tough Guy, we can go straight out of it. Thanks to everyone supporting the Patreon. Please check out the Patreon in the description below, and a special thanks, of course, to our Leviathan Jacob G, as well as Maxan up there on the Wall of Bacon, which we'll show you guys very quickly at the end of the show. Other than that, guys, I really feel like Thors were the one unit that was missing in this game from either side. I think Thors and Widowmines both could have caused big problems for the other player. Thors especially, though, with their super long anti-air range, would have been big. However, it's arguable that Interference Matrix is just as effective against them as it is against Battlecruisers, so I can kind of see why you wouldn't want to do it. On the other hand, the Thor has 11 anti-air range when you pull out a tie-impact payload, so that's kind of going to shoot down a bunch of the Ravens before they get to do too much. And you still need something to actually kill the Thors once they are matrixed. Same problem that we've seen with the Battlecruisers. Here we go, guys. Interference Matrix is Florencio coming on in. And 4 of the BCs teleport home. They are going back to hide inside their house. All 5 BCs actually managed to teleport out, but I mean, there's just nothing left. And Flo's going to finish him off now. So we can fast forward this one just a little bit. All right, Hellions are going to go up there. The whole army gets pulled back for 3 Hellions. And the other guy just GG's. Finally! Thanks so much for the love, everybody. Really appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy some of the other silly games on screen. And we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye and good night.